Yes, people. What's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We are back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how everybody's doing. And please do hit that like button. Do hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, and we are just this close. So I need you guys to please do hit that like button. I'm going to bring out a wonderful panel for you guys today. We got a wonderful show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Mikel Merino. We got an update on Mikel Merino. We got some updates on some potential exits with Eddie Nketiah, Kiwior, Ramsdale, and more. And should Arsenal sign a winger or should Arsenal sign a striker? We're going to talk about all this plus more. I got my guy Gunnar Souls in the building, my right-hand man. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. We got Belgium in the building. The Eddie Nketiah Defense League is in the house. And as Dylan gets his camera sorted and his Google sorted, we will add him also. But boys, how's everyone doing today before we go any further?
Every day on the ground, man. We give thanks to God. So fantastic, bro.
There you go. Oh, literally, Dylan's just about to add. I'm about to add Dylan in a second. Souls, what you saying, man? How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm all good, man. All good. Just working. Enjoy the football's back. You know what? Good week on FPL. The only week I'll have that's good. So I'm gonna brag about it until I'm taking off all my number one spots in the leagues. So yeah.
Before we go any further, people, let me know what's your predictions for the Aston Villa game quickly. What you guys saying? You think we beat Aston Villa? What's your score predictions?
Do you want it this early?
Yeah. We're just gonna get it because we're not gonna spend too much time on Aston Villa. This is more about the transfer window.
Wait, are we home or are we away?
We're away
to Villa, man.
Away to Villa. People in the chat, let me know what your score predictions are for the Villa game quickly.
Well, I'll go for a draw. It might be a draw. I see
a draw. Bro,
yeah.
We can't get draws, bro. We want to win the league.
Oh yeah, of course. No, but again, to Villa, listen, last season we struggled there, so you don't want to be too cocky, you know. I mean, if we get a draw, I'll take it, but obviously we're going for a win. So yeah, let's say 2-0 to the Arsenal.
I'm going 3-2 to the Arsenal. What are you saying, Sauce?
Do you know what? It's the perfect time to play the likes of Villa, City, Spurs, and all these kind of games because we're going to get a week's rest, which is quite vital as well. There's no like Carabao Cup or a Champions League. So what I am going to say is I think 3-2. I think it's going to be too open and attacking this kind of game. But I'm hoping what Belgium said, like a clean sheet, like a 1-0 even. I'll take that.
Oh yeah, anytime. I just want the pragmatic football.
Yeah.
This is results, so I don't care about the champagne football, man. This season.
Okay. All right. Before we go any further, Dylan is having some technical problems. So let me know. Some people saying 1-3 to Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal's going to win that game. Hopefully, we don't have to stress ourselves out like we did last time. But before you guys go any further,
it is a stressful game. Let's not underplay it. It's become a big game.
Massive game, yeah.
Oh, did you see all the media stuff about Unai Emery, Arteta? All the crazy stuff that everyone said.
I hate all that. That's
because of Yardman was Robbie was asking that. I think it was good for a debate, but I mean, hey, I remember that's why I didn't want to get involved into it because on my fan camp back in the day, I was one of the people who at one point was saying, listen, because Unai was having problem with some of the senior players, Ozil, and the media were getting to him. And because they were saying, he couldn't communicate properly. So I felt a little bit bad for him. But at the same time, so I thought, hang on a minute, he became erratic and he was trying to, some of the players that were playing well, all of a sudden he started having issues with them. So I was among the people literally who said, listen, it's a time for him to lead now. So
at the time it was. Yo, Dylan, you there?
Can you hear me again?
Yeah, bro, your mic is so loud.
We can hear you, but we can't see you, bro.
Bro, your mic is so loud. We can't see you. We can hear you.
Not showing me.
One second. Bro, your mic is moving mad. It's too loud.
Oh shit! Maybe. Oh, turn me down. Hold on. How do you
And
turn
we
me down?
can't see you, by the way. We can't see you, by the way. But
Oh,
do me a favor, guys. We're gonna get on to Eddie Nketiah stuff. Dylan, what do you think is gonna happen this weekend? Are you going to Villa away also?
Yeah, of course. I think we're gonna beat them 2-1, but I'd love to be able to show you my face, but I'm trying to fix. I feel like I'm just a black square in the bottom left right now. Funny thing is this. Hi guys, I'm Dylan. Hold on, one.
Yeah, well, as you get that sorted out, don't worry. Just
mute me. Just let me sort this. Just mute me.
All right. We're gonna start with the Eddie Nketiah stuff. Before we go any.
Did you put it on? Is he on Twitter? Your stream.
Sorry?
Is he on Twitter? Did you put it on Twitter?
No. I tweeted. I'm gonna tweet it out right now. Just 1 second. Yeah, but before we go any further, guys, did you see all the stuff about the potential outgoings? Before we talk about the incomings,
I've heard things. I don't know what the confirmed rumors are though.
I've heard stuff, and I also heard about rejection. So things happen. Arsenal come out and confirm that you can't really read into what people are writing, because it seems that everyone trying to get themselves being noticed, and some of these media that I normally call it Daily Fail, or these trash papers that I normally call them. Everyone trying to have a breaking news, breaking news. So I'm sorry, nah.
it was David Ornstein.
I don't really buy much of his stuff. I respect him what he put out there, and people might buy into it, but I don't.
You don't buy into David Ornstein when he talks about transfers.
Nah. Listen, till Arsenal, hey, what's his name? The Italian boy,
Califiori.
Califiori. Not many people were aware of that dealings, though.
In fairness, a lot of people dismissed it because of the journalists who broke the news.
So the thing is that, if you really want to be every time trying to go on social media and pick up a news, in fact, there's a Daily Telegraph again to coming out with the stuff. Daily Telegraph? What did they know about football? I got sources where I can get information from. I normally get some of my information from. Yeah, that's an international outlet, news outlet, but not from England.
Okay, let's just start from the beginning. So we're just gonna go over this quick.
What,
yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
The camera for today, lad. Sorry, my camera.
No worries, that's perfectly fine. So the first thing is Eddie Nketiah to Forest. Of course, we had a £25 million bid, which they submitted, plus add-ons, which we rejected the opening bid. We're expecting around 30 to 35 million for Eddie Nketiah. Also, Aaron Ramsdale, a proposal for Aaron Ramsdale also to be leaving, which is going to be a loan where Wolves are going to pay his whole wage package and potentially also going to have an obligation to buy. Yes, it says option, but Arsenal and Wolves are still negotiating to see if this could become a bigger thing. And there's also news about, Kiwior. Kiwior could potentially be leaving also. So my question to you guys is not, are they leaving? My question to you guys is, would you sell these guys? And honestly, are you concerned about anything right now with the transfer window and the direction that it's going in? That's really where I am, because a lot of people seem to be concerned about Ramsdale leaving, signing a new goalkeeper. People saying Eddie Nketiah, we should just accept whatever bid we get for him. And then Kiwior, some people saying keep Kiwior and try to sell somebody else.
I can't lie. I don't understand what the point of all of this loan with an obligation and give them our player, let them pay the way. It's pointless, man. Just sell him or keep him. Like, what is the point in sitting around and letting him go to a team for a year and we're not going to get any money? We need money now. We need money now. What's the point? Why are we wasting our time?
Alone. 1 second.
Why are we going to waste
a loan with an obligation to buy.
A loan. Okay, say they don't want to buy.
Well, but it depends.
No. A loan with an obligation to buy is perfectly fine. Increase his audio. We can't.
I was going to say, Dylan, your audio is a little bit quiet.
But it depends. Like when you're talking about.
I fixed it. Dylan, your audio is good now.
When you put in that option, yeah, when that's that option of obligation of to buy. Well, what about if the player goes there and then they pick up an injury? They can't buy again.
No. if there's an obligation to buy, you buy the player.
No. There's no guarantee. You know,
No,
that's
obligation. There is a guarantee. It's option to buy.
Unless it's stipulated by a term that they have to play a certain amount of games for an obligation to trigger.
is an option to trigger that transfer deal. So it's still open. So yeah. And again, let me just go back to the AD stuff. People got to listen. I know it just so for me, it's just so ridiculous. The way what would I say? That this I'm trying to put it, I'm trying to be careful, you know. I mean, I just hate that the way people like to treat Eddie, right? And that lack of respect. That's the point I'm trying to make. That listen, he didn't get to there where he's playing first team just by chance.
No, I hear that.
It went through the process. But when I heard people say, "Oh, they should just get rid of him," it's ridiculous.
Okay, so are you happy with them rejecting the bids of 25, 27 million?
No. The way Arsenal valued him, literally, is a top striker for Arsenal. Is England international? Yeah. So
no, he's not. No, he's not. He played like 10 minutes in an international friendly 2 years ago.
He is, whether you like it or not.
He's not an England international. He just isn't. He is not an England international. He's never gone to an international tournament. He is not an England international.
Whether you like it or not, he had a
no. He's not. It's not whether I like it. He's not.
He's been called to the national team. Yeah, we've seen so many players they've not had that opportunity. He had it, right? And that's why I think how many times? 2 times, whether 2 times or 3 times. I remember maybe you guys, you're young, but John Salako, he only had 2 caps.
I hear that, bro. All I'm gonna say is Eddie Nketiah, if he does go to Nottingham Forest,
yeah,
would you be happy with the 30 million?
Well, if that's what Arsenal value him, yeah, well, why not? It's a shame that he had to leave because it's a shame for me. Yeah, it's a shame.
Why is it a shame? Why is it a shame?
Listen, for me, I'll keep on saying this. If he's given the same chance, the same opportunity that he was given to Kai Havertz, to Eddie, right? And coming to the end of the season, he played that 35 games, coming to the end of the season, and he didn't score, he's unable to score at least 15 goals. Then obviously I have a go at him, I'll have a case.
I'm sorry. I've not even been Havertz's biggest fan, but Eddie Nketiah cannot offer what Havertz offers to the team.
Wait, just allow me to finish, please. Eddie will score more goals than what Kai Havertz did last season.
What? Based on what?
In the beginning of the season, Eddie was the one who got us into that good position, though. People need to remember this. And do you know what? And show him a bit of respect and love. Yeah? And again, to be grateful to the lad. This is what he's done. Even Kai Havertz, when he was struggling, because I said it.
Sorry, this is ridiculous. I don't even know why this is even still a fit. You just said that. So you reckon Eddie Nketiah would score more goals than Havertz?
Yes, correct.
Okay. If you want to have that ridiculous idea in your head, yeah.
It's not ridiculous.
Eddie Nketiah does not even offer half of what Havertz offers to the rest of the team when he's on the pitch. So, and I'm not even a massive Havertz.
In what sense? In
In build-up, passing.
In what sense?
I mean,
could Eddie Nketiah receive the ball under pressure away at Tottenham, deep in our half, turn and spray the ball 40 yards to find Saka on the wing for him to score? Could Nketiah do that?
Okay, we've seen that scenario
again.
No.
Couldn't you do it? Could Eddie Nketiah do that? Is he capable of that?
Listen, it's only one of it, isn't it? Well, there's a scenario where Eddie, remember that game against against Manchester United. Was it Manchester United or I can't remember. Where Eddie had the ball, right? And at one point, I thought that he was trying to feed it to Saka and not knowing it was Martinelli. And Martinelli ended up scoring that goal, yeah? Which was a fantastic vision, which was a fantastic idea. Do you understand? So you giving me an abstract of a situation, and I'm giving you another one.
He's a worse player than Kai Havertz. He's a worse player than Gabriel Jesus. What are we doing there? What are we doing? And we can get 27 million for him, which would quadruple the value.
One second.
Our academies.
Let me
We paid
One
nothing.
second, guys. Let me just jump in here. I agree Eddie Nketiah has been slightly disrespected Belgium, but I also agree that one second, but I also agree with Dylan. Kai Havertz is a better player than Eddie Nketiah. And if given the same game time, I believe Kai Havertz would outperform him.
No chance. Our challenge.
No chance.
Yeah, no chance. Listen, both of them, when it comes to the attacking movement, both of them are very good. Both of them can read the game. When it comes to decision making, in fact, when it comes to decision making, AD has slight edge over Kai Havertz. Yeah, Kai Havertz frustrating you. Listen, I go there and watch Kai. Listen, you know what? Anybody plays for my team, I'll support the player. I came on in the fan camp a couple of times and I've said, listen, give him a time. Give time to Kai. Listen, I'm a baller. I play football, right? Forget about that. Obviously, I'm a vet now, right? But I know, as for my striker or for my forward player last season, right? When you can't score, you can't hit the target. You can't you can't hit the target. For me, I believe that your final pass, it should be wow.
Can I show you something? This is Kai Havertz impact in the last 14 games.
I forget about those data, man.
Forget about the data because that doesn't matter because it doesn't
never
seen
anything like this.
Okay.
Belgium, I'm sorry, you're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish. I'm sorry. Eddie Nketiah is nowhere near as good as Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus or any of the forward line.
You're talking nonsense by saying that.
No, but you can like him. You can like the player. That's fine. And you can say he's disrespected. But you cannot say he offers more than Kai Havertz. That is nonsense.
No, I didn't say it's better. I said, listen to me properly before you start tweaking my what I'm saying. I said if Eddie is giving that same opportunity like that was giving it to Kai Havertz and he's unable to score that 13 goals or 14 goals, then obviously I'll have a case. However, I believe that AD will score more goals than what Kai Havertz did towards last season.
So Belgium, in a roundabout way, you are saying that Eddie Nketiah can offer more than Havertz. So Dylan's not wrong in his assessment in what you're trying to say. You're just not saying it.
Guys,
I just want to say one thing. The reality of the matter is, right, look, Eddie Nketiah, yes, he's done well in spells of games, but the issue is when he's and you can go back and watch this. Watch him after the second or third game. Does he score? No, he has a blank for 2 games. And the pattern's there. Every time he plays a series of 5 games, you'll see his first game, second game, cool. Third game, fourth and fifth, shit. Every single time he gets a pattern of play. And you can go, Belgium, I want you to go back and be honest and look at it because there's 2 blanks in every 5 games he plays. Now, when you're blanking, the issue is Eddie, other than goal scoring, hasn't offered enough. Otherwise, Arteta is not stupid. Arteta, because this manager that no, I've let you guys talk. I'm not going to get interrupted, right? This manager that we solely say that we trust his decision making, we trust the process that he's putting forward, sees all 3, 4, 5 of them in training and goes, actually, I've made a massive judgment error, and I'm going to play Kai Havertz up top now. The £165 million investment he bought in for a midfield shout that I made a lapse in judgment and I'm now going to play him as a striker.
Can I correct you there? Can I correct you there? First of all, Eddie is not our first choice striker. Right? He went and paid. Wait. Let me just break it up. He went and paid 55 million, for Gabriel Jesus, isn't it? And he brought him over. Then we saw the result. Now, when he went and paid 65 million for Kai Havertz, what happened is that he played him as an 8. It didn't work out because we were playing with double 8. He did play him as number 10, 2 number 10s, where Declan Rice was a 6, and at the same time, Odegaard was playing at the same time, but Odegaard has to drop deep to help Declan Rice, and Kai Havertz was unable to play as a number 10 properly. Okay. Then finally, he pushed him as a forward, right? To stay at the top. Obviously, he's taller than, in terms of height, he's taller than both Gabriel Jesus and.
So Belgium, I've got a question on this then. So
I just want to welcome.
One last question. This whole entire time, Eddie had an opportunity to make that his spot. Why didn't he?
He never had any opportunity.
Yes, he did. Because Jesus was injured.
It's not coming. It's not like coming in. Oh, when Gabriel Jesus was injured, he came in. He did well. He did well. Remember, you guys should remember
But
last.
yet the manager still thinks, nah, actually, I'm going to play Trossard, I'm going to play Havertz, I'm going to play this player up top rather than the actual striker.
Guys, let me just welcome the people who joined in from Dan Potts' channel. Big up to everyone that's joined over from Dan Potts' channel. Please do hit that like button. We literally got into a crazy argument right now, and I'm just trying to move on from the Eddie Nketiah Kai Havertz comparison. We don't need to do that right now. Let's we got bigger fish to fry, no pun intended. But before we go any further, please do hit that like button, guys. It helps out the channel massively. We're so close to 30K subscribers. Please do subscribe if you're new. Also join the family, and big up to Dan Potts every single time, guys. But yeah, enough about Eddie Nketiah. We know he's leaving, and Kiwior. Honestly, until we get more news on Kiwior, I'm not really going to stress, because Kiwior could potentially head to Crystal Palace. There's a lot of Arsenal fans today on Twitter upset that Aaron Ramsdale is leaving and we're getting a replacement for Aaron Ramsdale. Do you guys understand that if Aaron Ramsdale leaves Arsenal, Arsenal will now have the 120K a week wages off the wage bill? We will be signing a new goalkeeper and giving him literally like half of those wages, and we'll have Garcia. We'll have Garcia from Espanyol, who we would also pay a transfer fee to sign. So a lot of people are saying that's a mismanagement of funds, where it actually would save Arsenal in the long run, where we would make double of Garcia's wages. We save the money because Garcia is on half the wages that Ramsdale would be on. Plus, transfer fee that we get from Ramsdale would basically pay for Garcia. Plus, we'll have leftover for a forward, hopefully. But yeah, that's my thing. I think a lot of people.
I think we should get a transfer fee for Eddie and a transfer fee for Ramsdale, and then we can actually go and get what we need, which is another attacker.
No, but we're still going to need a backup. My point is, we're still going to need a backup for Ramsdale.
Yeah, but wait. But if you know,
replacement for Ramsdale.
Everyone is saying that we need an attacker. It's Arteta. Has he come up to you guys and say we need an attacker? And that's what I don't understand.
No, he's my.
No, we're going to sign an attacker. We're going to sign it.
No, I don't. Listen, Arteta's got a principle and he wants to stick to that. I'm telling you guys, there's no suggestion. He's never come out to say he need a striker. But we're the one trying to put it on him and say, oh, by default, there's a weakness up front that he needs.
He hasn't come out and said we need anything.
Say that.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that. But we're not talking about do we need a winger or a striker. We're going to talk about that in a second. But right now, we're just speaking about Ramsdale leaving and signing a backup for 20 million. Do you guys have a problem with that?
Well, the thing is that no, I don't have any problem with that, because obviously he wants to be. Listen, when it comes to England, the England team, he wants to be number one possibly. So he has to go to. I mean, wherever he feels that he wants to go to a club which will give him a chance to be playing week in, week out. Obviously, you have to allow him to do that. So yeah, I'll just have to wish him all the best. So.
Fair enough. I hear that. Also, just to let you guys know, the Mikel Merino deal is getting closer and closer. We just got an update on the Merino deal. Wait, this is a different player. What am I doing? This is the one I'm looking for. Where is it? Here it is. Merino transfer to Arsenal. So we got an update. Where is it? 6 hours ago, Arsenal have. No, this is banter. Where is it?
That's a little picture.
Okay, so yeah, here it is. Real Sociedad have rejected Arsenal's bid of 35 million. Real Sociedad and Merino. Real Sociedad have set a price tag of 40 million euros for Merino. Is it me or are they taking the piss now?
No, they're taking the piss.
They're taking the piss. Because is this the second bid that's rejected now?
I mean, he's in his final year of the contract. What I would do if I was Arsenal, just walk away from the deal, come back for him next season.
He's in the final year of his contract, and we're spending more than 20 million on this guy. Yeah. Oh my god!
Just walk away and come back for him.
Oh.
I think it's a situation where they are just trying to get as much money as they can.
They're being pricks. Let's be absolutely real. This is the problem, right? And I've said this about Arsenal for a very long time. We have to change the perspective in the market. We have to change our perception that we're going to be bullied, that we're going to walk over, and that you can just demand what you want. What we need to do is take a leaf out of Man City's book, walk away from the deal, and say, do you know what? We'll come back next year for free, and we'll take him, and we'll laugh at your faces.
No,
Right?
no, 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 that's not how business works out.
No.
But
Why
if
not?
we
Why
if
not?
we walk
Because
away from the Mikel Merino deal,
the problem is we're mugs in the market. Every single time we get the bad end of the stick.
That's not true.
Every single
That's not true.
Yeah, we do.
You know what?
Belgium, let him finish. Let him finish, Belgium.
Right. The problem is, right, look, he's in his final year of his you can tell me any other big major organizer who's meant to be a well-run club that's going to go in for a player in the final year of their contract and be bullied this way. If you're telling me 40 million euros and all we have to do is wait until next season to get him for free. Look, I rate Moreno and I think he solves a lot of problems that we have. But the problem that we now have is it's all about the perception. It's all about how we are perceived in the market. And right now, and the same thing's happening with Eddie. Look at how casually Liverpool are selling players. Look at how casually Chelsea is selling players. Broha, a guy who we've not even spoken about for 3 seasons, went for 30-40 million euros. And we can't even sell Eddie Nketiah.
Where's he gone for 30 million? Who's paid 30 million?
Broha went to Ipswich for 30 million.
Oh, right, and we can't get rid of Eddie.
We can't get 30 million for Eddie Nketiah, a guy who has actually bloody played for Arsenal. This is why I'm saying things like this are going to annoy me. Why? Because the perception that we have is that we're going to be run over, we're going to accept whatever we want, and that we can't sell. The perception can only change once we start putting respect on our own names. And this is how it starts. Final year of the deal, laugh in their faces and go, we'll come back next year and take it.
But the Sociedad president has flown to London to reach definitive agreement.
If they pay 40 million, Edu's a mug.
Well, listen, I mean, it seems to me that we, the Arsenal fans, sometimes we get confused.
Bro, if they're rejecting 30 plus 35, at this point, they're taking the piss.
No, they're not taking no piss.
Belgium, allow it, man.
Listen, allow me to talk, man. Just allow me to talk. Yeah, just allow me to talk. You know, too much FIFA football, right? And you kind of trying to translate it into proper way of doing stuff, business. Yeah. Listen, I remember when we got party, Arsenal got party, we had to trigger that release clause on this.
Yeah, we got a world-class midfielder.
Relax yourself, man.
Now we're getting a Spain bench.
Just relax, man. Just give yourself a minute. Let me finish, man. Well, listen, and that's what we managed to get him. Atletico was not happy. They were upset. They were really upset. Do you understand? This guy, listen, is still under whatever happened, is still playing for the club. The club didn't want to let him go. Right? And you can't go there and say, oh, listen, he's at the end of his contract. Well, it will be possibly at the end of his contract. Therefore, this is the amount that we are willing to pay.
What's the comparison then?
That's not how business is done when it comes to football.
One second, Belgium.
What's the comparison?
Belgium, one second. Belgium, the situation is Arsenal bid 25 million. They said no. Arsenal bid 30 million plus 5. They've now said no to the valuation that they set for us originally. They're asking for an additional 5 million from their original price that we were speaking about 2 months ago. This is the absolute taking the piss, as you guys would say. They've literally changed you go to a store, the item costs £30. The day that you show up to buy the item, they tell you it's 35. That's taking the piss.
Nah. So it's just part of the business, man. And they don't want to let him go. Listen, they want to keep...
Atletico didn't want to let Partey go. So what's your point? I don't get your point.
Well, obviously, if you were listening, then you'll get what the point I was trying to make. It's not about you going there and thinking, you could just take, because the player is getting to the end of his contract, or therefore, when he said to the club, listen, this is the amount of money that we've got, and either you take it or you leave it. If you know we're not interested, that's not how business works, man. When it comes to football, and that's the point I was making. So if you were listening to me properly, not interrupting, then you will have got the point I was trying to make.
I don't think anyone interrupted you, my brother. But I think you're misunderstanding what we're saying. We're not saying Arsenal are doing bad. I'm saying Real Sociedad are doing bad.
No. I'm saying if we do this deal at 40 million euros, we're mugs and we deserve to be mugged off for the rest of our careers. Absolutely, for the rest of our existence, keep mugging us off. We're mugs. If this is how we operate, we're mugs.
Okay.
I've not criticised, nor have I been critical of Arsenal's business. I've actually applauded them for sticking to their guns. But okay, let me give you another scenario that doesn't even involve us. Man City went in for, and Real Madrid both went in for Erling Haaland, right, before his release clause got triggered the season after for 150 million. And guess what they said? Well, just come back next year and take him for 75. Have at it. That's how a proper business is. Because they're like, we ain't going to be taking for mugs. You want to mug us off? We'll mug you off bigger. We'll say to Merino, you know what? Here's a pre-agreement. Sign this contract. We'll just take you next season. And just laugh at them.
And you know what? The people in the chat, don't take us for mugs. Come on, hit that like button. We only have 47 likes. There's over 176 of you guys watching. Hit that like button right now. It's absolutely free. It helps out the channel massively. But the Mikel Merino situation, let's hear from Dylan quickly. Dylan, what do you got to say about this whole Merino situation? It's kind of reminding me of Kieran Tierney 2.0. Taking forever.
It's a mess. I'm not going to lie. Last year, we took about 2 months to get a £105 million Declan Rice over the line. At least that was worth the wait. We're getting a Jorginho Part 2 for 3 times the amount of money, and it's taking 2 months to announce. I'm sorry, Chelsea are getting guys done in like 3 days. What are we actually doing? Like this guy, it's not exciting. No one's excited. There's no reason to delay this. It shouldn't take as long as it should because there's plenty other better players than him or players just of the same standard or the same profile out there. He's not unique. He's not special. Like this shouldn't be a case of 40 million, 35 million. Oh, actually 36. Oh, actually we want 37 points. It literally. We'll give you this. If you don't want it, we'll go and find someone else. I don't know why our whole transfer window seems to be revolved around this Newcastle reject. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
he's not a Newcastle reject. 1 second.
Okay,
when he was at Newcastle, I spoke to some Newcastle fans. They said he was one of their best players. He was technically.
Look, he's a top player.
Sociedad, and now he's sat on the bench for Spain or Euros.
Bro, he's really good. It's just understand.
Really okay, does he start over Partey? No. Does he start over Rice? No. Does he start over Odegaard? No. If Jorginho's fit, does he start over Jorginho? Probably not.
Is Partey left-footed? Is Rice left-footed?
I couldn't give a toss if he's left. What does that even? You're a midfielder. If you can't use both feet as a professional Premier League midfielder to pass the ball, then I don't know for you. I'm 20 years old. I play for bloody. I don't play for anyone. I like to pass the ball with both feet, and you're telling me a Premier League midfielder can't pass the ball with both feet?
That's not my point. My point is naturally being a left-footed central midfielder on the left side, it will benefit you massively. And Arteta
I'm telling you, as a midfielder, all you need to do is pass the ball. Yeah, his job is not to score goals. I can pass the ball with both feet the same. But bro, how can a Premier League midfielder not pass the ball with both feet the same?
Bro, I'm not saying Premier League midfielders can't pass the ball with both feet, but having a left-footed Granit Xhaka on that side and having Declan Rice on that side, it's slightly different. Obviously, they're different players, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how they receive the ball, how they pass the ball, how they act from that side of the pitch. It's slightly different. Same when you have a left-footed left back to have a right.
Is this guy better than Jorginho? Is he better than Jorginho?
At this moment in time,
he's a different profile.
You don't even know the answer, and this is what we're struggling for. We're actually contemplating 40 million over a guy.
I'm not going to compare. 1 second.
This is what, like, are we not? Bro, like, is this not?
You're just saying Mikel Merino's not that guy to sign?
He's okay. Right. If Arsenal, like you see, when we signed Zinchenko, yeah, and we went to Man City. Here's the amount of money. Do you want to give us Zinchenko? They did, and we signed him within about 4 days, and then he was at the training camp. If we'd gone to Sociedad with whatever he's worth, which is probably about 20 to 25 million euros, and gone, here's 25 million euros. They'd said yes, and we got it done in a week. And he's
but then why mention Jorginho?
He turns out to be dead. Then whatever. We're sat here, Gal. I promise you, it's almost like it's to distract the fact. Like we've been sat here ever since we signed Calafiori after the Euros finished, waiting for them to announce Moreno. He's been the main target, the main focus is all anyone's talked about. Moreno. He's not even worth it. I'm sorry. 40 million. Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the actual piss? It's not worth the wait. It's not worth the It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the negotiating. Just go and find someone else. There's plenty of other better players with the same player. And we've already got better. It's a waste of time. The whole thing's a waste of time.
First of all, Thomas Partey and Jorginho are entering their last season. We're going to need more midfielders.
Mate, this Merino guy's entering his last season, bro. Have you seen how old he is? Bro, he's not even young. What happened to Project?
He's 28. He's
28. Okay, bro. I need
28. What are we doing here? 28.
Bro, he's 28. Sancho Zola joined Arsenal at 28. Ian Wright joined Arsenal at 28. 28 is not old. 28 is quite young. Let's not act like.
My point is, he's in the same age bracket as a Partey and a Jorginho. He's in that age.
No,
bracket.
He's not. Partey's 30. Jorginho's what?
That's
30?
2 years. That's the same age bracket. I'm sorry. When you're past 27 to 31 is the same age bracket. 27 to 31, you're the same age.
2 years is a bloody
Hey,
big
guys,
deal.
forget about the age stuff. Forget about the age stuff. Listen,
He's not
this
worth
guy,
it. Yeah, literally, the age stuff is not even my concern. My concern is we're wasting
this
time.
guy, well,
We're
first of
actually
all,
wasting
Okay,
negotiation time.
bro,
anyway.
I agree with you on the wasting
let me
time.
talk.
I'm just not going to sit here
let
and
me land.
hear that Mikel Merino is dog shit or he's not that good.
Let me
You
land.
haven't even seen him play enough to
Let
say
me
that.
Let me land. First of all, Arsenal, we're not Chelsea. Listen, Chelsea, they're in a mess. Look, they send this guy to, was it Conor Gallagher, to Atletico, right? Did you see what happened? Right? The guy had to come back. That's one. Secondly, when you were talking about Zinchenko issues, the transfer dealings, well, because of there was a good rapport between Arsenal and Man City then, right? And that's why everything went smoothly. Well, with Sociedad, there's not much rapport between Arsenal and Sociedad, so it's a new business stuff. On top of that, when he comes in, Arteta wants somebody, Spanish player, who literally has played with that kind of template, the way Arteta wants to play. Right? That's why he literally going. So you can't go and get any other profile, yeah. And that's why Arsenal decided, you know what? No matter how, we have to get this guy, because he is already played on that kind of platform and he's got a template. Right? You can't go and pick up another player trying to see whether he can play. We saw Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. They're struggling at Chelsea. But Arteta, they've watched him, the scout, they've watched this guy. He's coming from Spain. Forget about his adventure when he was at Newcastle. It didn't happen to him well. He's coming to Arsenal. He'll be dealing with a Spanish coach. He'll be dealing with a system which is literally again is a replicate of the system of Sociedad. So that's when Arsenal is going for him. And when he comes, he'll provide cover for either Partey, Declan Rice, Jorginho, for all three of them.
Only crazy. I think he'll play more than Partey because Partey.
Well, whatever, he will just create. He will just be play. He's going to provide, cover for either Partey, Rice, or whoever, or Jorginho. Yeah,
I think Merino will play the 8. Partey, Jorginho will
play the 8. He can play 8. He can
Partey
play.
and Jorginho can and Declan Rice can all play the 6 and the 8. Declan Rice can also play the 8. So we have enough midfield cover with those 4 now.
Yeah, which is a good option, man. Fantastic option.
Good squad depth. It's good squad depth. Like
Yeah,
that's what we've always asked for, Dylan. We've always asked for more cover. So that's decent cover right there.
How about get good? No, Gal, that's not my point. That's not my point. I've already said to you,
I know
if we'd
you've
gone
told
there
me.
with what he's worth and signed him and got it done like normal negotiators or skilled negotiators, whatever. If he's been part of the preseason, if he's just going to be on the bench and then he work his man, whatever. It's like this club are using this average footballer as the rumor to just distract us. We don't need a striker. We're signing Merino. We're actually going to get Merino.
1 second,
We've
Dylan.
been banging on at this guy for a month, and he's still not at the club.
Player, man. Who is the average player there? He's not an average player.
He's not. Mikel Merino's not an average.
He's
Is he better than Jorginho? You haven't got an answer for me.
Is he better than? Okay, but that's like saying, is Saliba better than Ben White? Like they play 2 different positions.
Different position.
It's completely different. You can't compare them.
Comparing 2 centre mids. What are you talking about?
Listen,
You do realize there's differences with that as well. Are you going to now start comparing?
Okay, who's better? Who's better?
Partey or Odegaard? Who's better? Partey or Odegaard? Dylan. Who's better? Partey or Odegaard?
What?
Who's better? Partey or Odegaard? Who's better? Who's better than Partey?
Odegaard is a better technical footballer, but Thomas Partey offers. We're worse without Partey.
No. Yes or no? Forget all of this explanation because clearly they're just midfielders.
No. Okay, even if you want to run that silly logic, Jorginho is an 8 and Merino is an 8. They're both number 8s. What are you talking about?
No, Jorginho's a 6.
Jorginho's a 6.
What? So Jorginho's a CDM?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Where do you think he's playmaker?
He's not. He just isn't.
Jorginho's literally a 6. He's a deep line playmaker. He receives the ball off the back 4. He's the deepest player.
Gives the ball off the back 4 and gives it straight to Maddison. Brilliant. What a player.
That doesn't mean he's not a 6.
Dylan is too excited tonight, man, because of Merino's coming.
Guys, Dylan, somebody in the chat is asking, what's your TikTok?
My TikTok is AFC Dylan.
AFC Dylan. So big up, Gunnar,
not DILL, DYLAN.
Gunnar Mateta is asking. Big up Gunnar Mateta. People, do me a favor. Let me know. Does anybody agree with Dylan and they don't rate what do you call it?
Miguel. It's not that I don't like. It's
Oh,
not that I don't rate him.
you
My point is a waste of time.
literally saying he's not that good.
He's not going to. Because he's not that good that we're wasting an entire window of distraction from what we need to be signing.
That we can agree on, but that doesn't mean he's an average player. He's a good footballer, right? That offers us a lot in a different sense of what we have already, and that's
he's not worth a penny over 25 million now.
No, that we can agree. I've agreed with all of that, but that doesn't make him a bad player. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's a fantastic player, man, and I wouldn't even mind to pay that 14 million. I think you guys might disagree, but I tell you what. Because it's up to Sociedad. They don't want to sell him; they want to keep him.
Yeah, but then we need to walk away. We need to learn, right, to be ruthless in our business.
Yeah, and we need to walk away.
Yo, guys, Crystal Palace just got 30 million from Fulham for Anderson. What's the chances they come in for Kiwior and give us like 25?
They could just give us the 30 million, no?
So whatever. They're gonna want to keep some margin of profit, right?
Yeah, we'll have more money to put the Merino deal. I really hope the 40 million is fake. You might be on a wind-up, you might have done the cleverest thing for clicks, right, that you've ever done. You can clip this up because you said it's 40 million on a fake news thing. I don't believe we're paying 40 million. I refuse. I
literally read the article to you.
I refuse. I think that guy's on a wind-up.
But guys, we got to move on. The last topic of the day. Should Arsenal sign a winger or should Arsenal sign a striker? Now, the situation is there's an argument for both. There's an argument that Kai Havertz, Jesus, you could literally play them in different positions. And if you get a number 9 who's a more clinical goal scorer, it will benefit the whole entire team and will add more squad depth because now Kai Havertz and Jesus will be able to play other positions. If you get a winger, the argument is that a winger would add more squad depth to our team, relieve less pressure on Bukayo Saka, Trossard, and Gabriel Martinelli to having to be so dependent on the likes of Martinelli, who has not hit the heights recently. And it will definitely help the squad depth also if we get a winger. Either way, we're improving our attack. But which one would you rather sign if you were Arsenal? If you had the decision for Arsenal right now, Dylan, I'll start with you.
I think it's a tough question. I think genuinely, what I've learned over the last, not even the last year, what I've learned in 2024, I'd say in particular, is that Kai Havertz out of midfield, playing up front, our goals in the season, especially where the season before this one where we challenged, where we came second as well, the goals have never had to come from a number 9. We're creating goals, but the problem I feel like is that the wingers at times are too inconsistent. I feel like you have Saka and Martinelli, both very inconsistent. Trossard extremely inconsistent, obviously very good when he's good. But obviously Saka and Martinelli, both very inconsistent. I want a bit of consistency from them because I know they've both got the quality, but it's consistency is the main thing for me. So I'd probably say a winger, but I don't know. Having a striker that can guarantee, but the thing is though, like you've got Gyökeres on the screen. Can he guarantee us 20 goals? Probably not. I don't think he can guarantee us 20 goals. Again, Nico Williams, I can't guarantee anything from him either. So I think they're two not great examples. I wouldn't leave it.
What about Eze?
Eze, no. We've got Odegaard. We can't have Eze on the wing. He's not a winger. I think he's better off in a 10, and we've got Odegaard there. I think we don't need an Eze. But in terms of a winger, I'd probably say a winger only because of how good Havertz has shown to be. And then if it's not working with Havertz up top this season, go for a number 9 in January because there is money there. That you can't tell me there's not money. And if there isn't, then sell some bloody players rather than giving obligations to buy to bloody Wolverhampton. How are we getting bullied by Wolves? How are we getting bullied into doing obligations by Wolverhampton?
Did I for 1 second say Bukayo Saka is inconsistent? I was talking about Martinelli.
I said that.
You said Bukayo Saka is inconsistent.
Oh, he's extremely inconsistent. Yeah.
Both Martinelli and Saka. That's what
1 second. Consistent or inconsistent?
He's very inconsistent. He's an extremely inconsistent. When he's good, he's great. When he's bad, and he has bad games. Like let's not pretend Bukayo Saka doesn't have extremely bad games. Let's not take the piss.
How many goals did he score last season, Saka?
Bro, I don't think Bukayo Saka has 2 games.
Cole Palmer's stats looked amazing, but then you break it down. He's got 4 goals against Everton, 3 goals against Manchester United. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo in 21-22. Stats look great, but then you actually break it down. He'd only scored in about 6 or 7 games.
Bukayo Saka, his level of consistency is so crazy that you calling him inconsistent is just saying that you have some.
No, Egal, you're not understanding. Right, there's plenty of times. Season before the one that's just finished, when we were in the run-in, he was awful, vanished, and that's mismanagement from Mikel Arteta, overplaying him. We need options, we need other players, but I think overplaying is a massive part of it. Let me just say that I don't think it's entirely down to Saka alone. I think the fact that he's the only player that can play on the right wing for us is massively part of the problem for his inconsistency. But he does.
He just tells you that he's the best player.
3 in every 10 games, he will play terribly. Munich away, awful. Fulham and West Ham at home before Christmas, awful.
Excuse me? Munich away?
Well, I don't know what Dylan's been watching.
Did you watch that game, Miguel?
He was one of the only people who's on.
Gal, he was terrible. Odegaard was the best player on the pitch. They were all terrible. I'm just being honest. Like I said, I don't think it's entirely down to him. Listen, we criticize our players sometimes. He's not perfect. He's only 23. He's not going to be perfect.
How many goals did he score last season?
No. Bro, stop asking me how many goals he scored. It's a stupid point. Ronaldo scored like 20 goals in 21-22 and only scored in like 7 games. Stupid question. Next. Huh?
That's nonsense. What are you talking about?
No, you've just asked me how many goals did Saka score last season. That's a stupid question. Cole Palmer last season was one of the top scorers in the league. He scored 4 against Everton at home. Scored 3 against Man United. That's great, but this is like individual performances.
Come on, man. Listen, this is your point. I'm talking about the league. Listen, last season you talking about Cole Palmer. The team was built around Cole Palmer, Chelsea, Pochettino.
Right.
Arsenal wasn't built around. Listen, relax yourself, man. You're too excited, man. Right? Saka team wasn't built around Saka, and that's what I'm asking you. Yeah, last season he scored more goals. He scored 13 or whatever goals he scored last season. How can you say that it's been inconsistent?
13 goals, not great.
Right? And the season before that, that's when he and Martinelli were scoring goals for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and he scored 17 goals. Like I think the season before last season. Right?
Okay. I don't get what your point is. What's the point there?
The point is okay, if you do listen, then obviously I know that you're too excited.
I'm listening, bro. You can see me. I'm listening. You're just not. What's the point?
Listen, because you're just picking up 1 or 2 games that had a quiet moment, and all of a sudden you're trying to make a judgment on it. You just want to say
one second. I don't want to get too. 1 second. I don't want to get too far off track. The definition of inconsistent is somebody who's hot and cold. Bukayo Saka is not hot and cold. He's hot and then has 1 game where he doesn't end up getting anything and we end up dropping points.
Right, it'll be a few.
No.
He had that awful patch in December last year. More or less the entire
whole
December
team
last
was
year.
shit in December last year.
It's
not only Saka.
The team
that's right. This is not an entire criticism on Saka. The problem at Arsenal Football Club. No. Listen. When Martinelli plays badly, Leandro Trossard comes in with a point to prove, and he performs like he did at the end of last season. When Martinelli comes in, he's got a point to prove. There's competition there, so if one's not working, the other can come in and they will do the job. And 9 times out of 10, they do the job. With Saka, if he's not firing, there is no one in his position to come in because let's not take the piss here. He's not perfect. He's not world class. He's a great player. We love him, but he's not a world class player. He's 23 years old.
Who says that he's the world class? No one says that he's the world class.
Let's not take the piss here. Everyone. Listen, there's room for improvement.
He's a star player, whether you like it. He's a star player.
Guys, we're shouting. You're shouting over each other. Guys, you're shouting over each other.
I'm listening to. Let him finish. I want to.
I'm just saying that he's a star player. He's a star boy for Arsenal, whether you like it or not. He's got the potential to be a world class. It could go into
potential.
Yes.
Potential.
He's got potential.
I want to hear from Souls. Yes. I want to hear from Souls. Souls, who should Arsenal sign? A winger or a striker? And also, let's get off the Bukayo Saka inconsistent thing because I don't think he's inconsistent at all. He's probably one of the most consistent players in the league after Mo Salah.
Yeah, I was focusing on the other side really, but no, I think we need a winger more than we need a striker. I've said this from the very get-go. I've said this from last season. I feel like for me, the biggest problem that we have in this team is the lack of development that Martinelli is showing. Now, I'm not saying that he won't show it this season. I mean, obviously, people can say, off of one season, are you judging his entire career? It's not that. I've just not seen any development in him. And I'm going to keep banging the drum of, I think Martinelli, for me, is a striker and not a winger. And that there is better that we can do if we can get an actual winger who plays on the left-hand side. Someone who can be just as dangerous in these central areas, but also someone who can be touchline when we need them to be. Because the problem that I have with Martinelli personally is I just don't think he looks up at his options enough, and his instinct is goal first rather than actually doing what the correct decision is. And that's what the bigger wingers in the market do at the moment, is they observe all their options before making a decision within the game space. I feel like our striking options or our number 9s are perfectly fine because of the balance that we've created in this team. If we go and get a pure number 9, the problem that we're going to have is all we're going to do is suck up the goals into one player, and that one player is now going to become the cog to this team. And that's going to mean Saka isn't going to be the player that he is. The Martinellis, the Trossards, or whoever that we have aren't going to be the players, and they're not going to get the opportunities because the number 9 can't create them. And the example that I'll give is Erling Haaland at Man City, for example. All that's happened is the transition's gone from Man City scoring goals to now it's Erling Haaland scores the goals. And that's what's going to happen at Arsenal if we do get a number 9. This perception or this idea that a number 9 is going to increase our goal tallies is absolutely a myth. We're scoring 90-odd goals per season, 5 off of Man City, who have a pure number 9, who have one of the best finishers in world football, and they're only producing 5 more goals. Now, granted, them 5 goals have won them the league. But what I want to see is the efficiency in the other areas increasing rather than the number 9. Like we've seen in the graphic as well, 14 games, and he had 17 goal contributions from the number 9 when Kai Havertz became a pure 9. That's perfectly fine for half a season where he played in midfield and then transitioned to the 9. If we can go get someone like a Rafael Leao, for example, someone like a Cavara, I can never say his name, but Cavara from Napoli, for example. Nico Williams, for me, is the same problem that we currently have in the squad, where great player, direct, can run at the winger, at players and stuff like that, but lacks end product. He needs that development. He's too raw for what we need right now. And that's why I do think it's a winger that we need.
So this way, so everything you said, I share your point. Fantastic. But when it comes to Nico Williams, he's matured. We saw what happened in the final.
No, I'm saying like he's raw, like his end product isn't quite there yet.
Let me go back by saying that striker stuff. Arteta, we don't know if Arteta wants to stick to his principles, and that's the thing. Does he want to do like what Pep has done? Because at one point Pep decided, you know what? Let me go for Haaland. Let me change the way I play. So literally, they played everything to Haaland. Now, if Arteta decides to do that, then I'll be looking for a transformational striker, and the only transformational striker that I will be looking for will be Osimhen. He's the only one, only profile. Yeah, you can laugh, Dillian, man. I know that you're excited.
I don't think Osimhen's as good as people think he is.
Only one
nowhere near as good. 0 goals at AFCON. I'm sorry.
The last one. Secondly, let me just finish, man. You allow it to talk, bro. The second thing I'm trying to talk about, I know everybody's talking about, let's need a striker. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. The thing again, too, is when we played against a team which literally sit deep and, not want to come out, not want to engage, those low blocks, deep, obviously you want a striker which will bring some kind of variation to what Arteta, because I know, as So said, we score more goals than without the proper number 9, default number 9. But people are saying our weakness is that kind of default number 9. So unless Arteta decided that, you know what, I will not stick to my principles and I'll go for a striker, but it has to be a transformational striker. It's not like, as people, all these names that people are kind of talking about, I don't really see them to come into Arsenal.
Hold on. Just 1 second, Belgium. Mm-hmm. Is Osimhen your solution?
Oh, yeah, for Arsenal, yeah.
What about the fact that Osimhen is
not very good?
I don't think he's that good.
He's won the league. He's won that. Yeah. Napoli hasn't won the league for the past.
He's won the league. Is that?
Let me talk, Dylan. Relax yourself. You're too excited tonight, man. He's won the league with Napoli. Yeah. When he was in the French league, he won the Vivien Foe Awards. Yeah, by scoring number of goals. Yeah. Even last season, when he had to play under 3 managers, he managed to score 17 goals. Right. And when you have Osimhen in your team up front, which of the defenders will say, you know what, I'm going to relax? No chance. No chance. And
but they can't relax.
The defender's never going to relax. Like, what?
You can have people relax. People, listen, we can have people, listen, if you put Osimhen into any team, a defender, listen, to defend against Osimhen, please, man, you're having a laugh.
So with Kai Havertz, a man who's 6'4", is like the most fouled player in our team after maybe Saka or level with Saka. A player who can drop deep to receive the ball and feed wingers. A player who can also get in the box, can score headers, can score with his feet, can score volleys. He's a player that lets centre backs relax. Yeah?
He hasn't got the legs, man. He's not a pacey player.
He's not pacey, no, but he's 6'4". I think he's got some of the best movement in our team, bar maybe Odegaard. I think he's got the best movement in our team.
Osimhen is strong. He's playing in a tough league. And coming to England, it will be a fantastic opportunity for him. And if Arsenal can go for him, I'll say yes. Fantastic, cool.
1 second. People in the chat, please calm down. Stop accusing people of things. But when it comes
to Gal's my mate, he's taking the piss. He's my mate.
Okay, I deleted it. Anyways, people in the chat need to chill. Long story short, people believe whatever they see in the chat. So sometimes you gotta just
go on. Yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I mean? So long story short, Sol said we need a winger, but he said we need more of a goal scoring winger. I've said I think we're gonna end up signing a winger, but
Sol's is on fire today.
I think we're gonna end up signing a winger. Dylan, you're saying we're gonna end up signing a winger?
We're going to end up signing no one, mate. We'll be lucky if we get bloody Merino over the line. I'm sorry, we're signing absolutely no one.
Okay, and I think the only way we end up signing an actual striker is if Gabriel Jesus somehow leaves the club. Saudi Arabia are looking at their Saudi Pro League are looking at Gabriel Jesus as one of their potential signings. It's between him or Richarlison. And let's be honest, if they're going to give us 60 million for Gabriel Jesus, I will take that straight to the bank and go get us. I'm
concerned about how late in the window we're talking now.
Bro, if we get 60 million for Gabriel Jesus right now,
I'm not worried that we can't give the money that another club.
You take that money and you go drop it at Newcastle, add another 50 million. You see if you can prize away Isaac.
No. But the problem that you have is, don't forget the window closes in about 10 days, right? So if we're talking about Saudi still need to come in, so we're talking adding a few extra days to that. The problem that we have is for these top players to come away from their plans for their season, right, this late in the window, where the opportunity for a club to replace that player is very limited and actually shortened. It's scary hours.
Yeah, it doesn't scream.
The only hope that we have is a release clause. Like if we can just
I'll be honest. I don't think the window is not a disaster because we haven't completely changed our team for next season, because the team we've got is already brilliant and it can go for a league, and we've seen that. Yeah, the issue is the rubbish players or just the average players, the dead wood that we still have here that should be gone. And then once they're gone, we would have money to maybe look at. Oh, my lights went out. So we would then have money to maybe look at other players. Do you get what I'm trying to come from? Right, okay, cool. Our team right now, decent. But if we get rid of Kiwior, we got rid of Smith Rowe already, fair play. If we get rid of Ramsdale, who's clearly not going to play, I think he's better than Raya, but forget it, he's not going to play. If we're going to get rid of Ramsdale, we've still got, by the way, I clocked yesterday, Kieran Tierney's still on the books. Heard of him? Anyone heard about him? We've got so many players that we can get money for, yeah? Kiwior, like, I don't know what we're doing with loads of players. But they're still here. They're still here. They're not going to play. They're going to take up wages. We could be selling these players to get players that can actually benefit us. Because I feel like when in the games where we need goals, there's too many occasions where we're looking at the bench and it's who can come on for Saka? Reece Nelson? No. Who can come on for Odegaard? Fabio Vieira? No. Who's going to come on for Saliba or Gabriel if they're tired? Kiwior? No. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's not actual like real quality that's pushing his man in the starting 11. There's your okay. If he looks to the bench, he's got Trossard, and then he's sort of like scratching his head. Fucking hell, Smith Rowe, fancy rolling back the years, 21, 22. He's gone now. Who else is there? There's no one else. So my point is, if we could have got rid of the deadwood, because we know our team's good, but if we could have got rid of that deadwood, maybe we could add extra to our squad. Because right now there's nothing extra. There's nothing extra.
But don't forget, we've
position
got
about
Jesus
five
who can come off
players.
the bench. Trossard that can come off the bench. Calafiori who can come off the bench. If it's not Calafiori, we've got Zinchenko.
No, I think we're defensively sound. Soz, I think we're defensively sound. I'm talking attacking wise. We need a goal. Yeah,
I think it's
you're
right. We've got Jesus and Trossard, who are the only ones. If either one of them came on, we're like, okay, they can change the game. Everyone else are a bit like, oh, we're hoping, we're praying that they can change the game. I get what you mean, though.
You know what? We're gonna have to wrap it up there. But before we go any further, would you guys make any changes to the starting lineup for the Aston Villa game?
Yeah, just duplicate Havertz and put 11 Havertz, and I'm happy.
I'm
saying Zinchenko for Timber.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said on another channel today. I don't think Zinchenko he didn't have a bad game against Wolves. I just think we've got 4 left backs, which must suggest that we've got different left backs for different scenarios. We saw the season before last, we saw Mikel Merino bring Zinchenko out for Tomiyasu when we played Liverpool at home, and he was perfect for the job. He locked up Salah, and we got the job done that day. Salah didn't get a sniff, came off at half time, I think. We've got 4 left backs for that reason. How many have we got? On the books, we've actually got Kieran Tierney, Calafiori, Jurian Timber, Tomiyasu, Kiwior. There's like 6 or 7.
Two of them can play on both sides.
People in the chat keep talking about the Cronkies. The Cronkies, I think they've been doing their job. I think it's on
the Cronkies have done their job. It's now on Edu. I'm sorry, Edu is absolute Edu. Oh, you know, let me save my words.
Let's go back to this change the lineup, because otherwise we're going to go on for a tangent on another thing.
You're right. Yeah, I'd change the left back. I think for the reason we have 5 or 6 left backs is because we've got different left backs for different scenarios. I think Villa away against a top team, a really fast, pacey attacking, counter-attacking team. I think you take out Zinchenko, you put in a Timber or a Calafiori, probably starts.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Big up Belgium for joining us. Dylan, Souls. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Please do leave a like before we end up going. And we're out of here, people. Catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 30K. Big up, everyone. Peace.